Well, holiday burnout can be caused by a combination of factors, from busy schedules to financial burdens.
And this season, we really just want you to relax. So we're joined now by Hema Crockett with Recalibrate Coaching. And she's here with some tips on how to avoid holiday burnout this month and next. Thanks for being on Fox 5. So let's just get right to it. What is the first thing that a person should ask themselves when, I'm starting to feel like I got the burnout syndrome going?
Yes, well, thank you for having me. Becoming aware is really your first step. Recognizing that there's something wrong, that you feel like there's burnout. And I think talking about this topic early is really great at the end of the day, because it gives people time to really start thinking about, how do I ease in to the holiday season?
I'm glad you bring this up, because you say just to be aware. Well, you know, I feel like a month ago, everyone's already texting, you know, the different families and the friends. Okay, reserve this weekend and this weekend. And by the time I'm done, like, I have no weekends left. And so when you start to recognize burnout, what exactly am I looking for?
That increased heart rate.
Ah, okay.
Right?
Right now.
The increased heart rate, the idea of feeling overwhelmed when you're thinking or accepting all of those invitations at the end of the day. And just that general feeling of, oh my gosh, do I have to go to all of these things?
Well, that's our next question, because I've seen Christina's schedule like a mad woman doing like this. How do you say no? I mean, what's the criteria for that? Yeah,
it's hard, but I really think about the idea of quality over quantity. So there's so many things that we say yes to, and they come from a place of obligation, because we've always done them. Let's make sure we keep doing them. But what's really meaningful to you? Who are the people that you want to spend time with around the holiday season? Those are the ones that become really the ones that you say yes to. And the other people you can either politely decline, set your boundaries, or maybe go for a half hour, an hour, and leave. That's okay. You don't have to stay the whole time.
I'm glad that so you can actually create boundaries for yourself. Not just giving yourself a time limit, but I see something here about taking a break when you go to an event. What does that mean?
Yeah, micro breaks.
Okay.
So it can be overwhelming when we're in the middle of an event. We're talking about topics that maybe we don't want to talk about. It can be overwhelming sometimes, just all of the questions. So think of this as a micro break, taking a few minutes just to go stand outside, get some fresh air, collect your thoughts, go to another room maybe, and really just take a few minutes for yourself, so when you return, you're more present, you're more focused on the conversations that you're having.
You know, generally speaking, you kind of talked about it, but how much time should you really spend at a gathering or at an event?
Well, I wish I could give you an exact time frame.
For me, it's like, hey, how you doing? Bye.
Maybe stay a little longer than that.
All right.
Maybe just a few minutes longer. You know, I think it really depends on the event, right? I really do. I think it also depends on your state of mind when you're going into that event. So if you feel you've been there 15, 20 minutes and you're starting to feel maybe those heart palpitations or a little stressed or overwhelmed, I think that's kind of your cue to think about, maybe it is time for me to go.
Yeah, and the charcuterie board is already empty, so you might take
And if the
off,
drinks are already gone, right?
Can we talk about family real quick?
Yes.
Because sometimes when we come together, there are some quirks. You know, not every family is perfect. How do we avoid maybe the uncomfortableness, some awkwardness maybe at family functions? What do we do?
First, I think we have to embrace some of the awkwardness, because that's just a part of family gatherings these days, especially with different opinions and some of the topics that can come up. But I also think it's about making sure you're bringing up topics that you want to talk about as well, and really focusing on the point of the gathering, which is family time, which is really togetherness and community if you're with friends as well. So I think it's focusing on what's important at the end of the day.
And let's talk very quickly here about finances, because how do you manage like financial concerns during the holidays? Because you really feel like, I've got to get a gift for her, for him, for who knows, Aunt Julie. I mean, it can get kind of overwhelming.
It can get very overwhelming, and I think that's a lot of where our obligation, the feeling of obligation or expectations come in. That idea that I have to buy people gifts, or I should buy people gifts. But a lot of the times, hey, let's get together for a cup of coffee instead. Let's go have a meal together. Maybe an experience would be better versus feeling that you have to buy everybody a gift. Maybe it's a walk on the beach as well. So really align it with your values and who are the people that are closest to you in your life, and maybe focus on those this year versus everybody.
Okay. Now, if you are in the middle, I didn't know I was going to ask this, but if you're in the middle of you're feeling yourself getting burned out, you're about to have a mental breakdown. Maybe I am exposing myself. What then do you do?
Yeah, first you breathe.
Okay.
First you breathe. You pause and you take a breath.
Yeah.
And then you really start to take it step by step, right? You don't try to solve the world's problems in one go. Yeah. You really think about what is most important right now. What is my baby step? And that's how you think about it. You don't tackle everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
And don't forget to enjoy the moment.
That's
Exactly.
it.
I
That is
love
it.
the holidays.
Enjoy it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
yes.
We could go on for about another hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.